Ready?
Are you ready, Brian?
Here we go.
I'm so ready.
It's just another thirsty Thursday, but only one more day till Friday, and that's one day away from Saturday, and Saturday is even better than Sunday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's Thursday. Thursday. Thursday's the day we take for granted because we know our Friday plans could be slanted. But today's only 2 days from the weekend and only 36 hours from hanging with our friends. And something tells me this day will go fine. And for dinner, I think I'll have a glass of wine because it's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's Thursday.
Is this the...
I didn't have bongos.
You should have told me. I could have got you some.
Okay, all right.
Thursday. Over the hump day. It's Thursday. The end of the sight day. It's Thursday.
Got real weird.
It could be a worse day. It's Thursday. The Randy Hughes is brewing more beer day. Thank you, Randy Hughes.
It's not Monday. It's not Tuesday. It's not Wednesday.
Yes!
It's Thursday.
It's okay, Scrady.
Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, man, is there anything more American than that? The original version of the Thursday song and then a little Pat McCurdy interlude. Fifth Lori texting in immediately. Beautiful. Fireworks, Pamela Anderson, Bald Eagles, and Scrady's version of the Thursday song.
Yep.
America, bitches.
America.
Randy Backestuen texting in saying, Scrady, LOL, that's how you start a long weekend. Have a great 4th. We're here for it today, by the way. I'm in. I'm all in on the 4th.
Look at me. I'm America. I tried to do
I see blue. I don't see anything else.
Well,
I see bruises, black and blue.
yeah, that's from last week.
Is there red shorts on, or what's going on here?
Look at me. I'm like America over
I
here.
don't. All I see is a blue top. I don't see anything else.
It's a dress.
And shaved armpits. All right, a blue dress.
A dress.
There's no white or red. You're not America.
I mean,
you got one of the 3 colors. You're not even half of the way there.
Come on, I'm spirited. Look at me.
You're here, and I'll give you that. 4th of July, of course, tomorrow. Make sure you leave out a fully loaded gun and some fireworks for Kid Rock tonight, or else he won't show up.
Is that the deal?
Tomorrow morning and give you presents. Is that how it works?
Stone Cold Pimp of the Nation.
Ooh, stone cold. Lots of 4th of July stuff to get to this morning. Office Core going to join us. Hypothetical questions. Busy. Looks like it's going to be a repeat of yesterday as well. Mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds, up near 90. And then tomorrow into the 90s with lots of sunshine, and then dropping back down into the low 80s on Saturday and Sunday. Might see some showers and thunderstorms.
What'd you have to eat yesterday when you were down at Riverfest? I saw you down there for lunch.
Well, I went over to Sparky's Spit and I got me a $12 pulled pork sandwich that was, dude, it was like this big. It was crazy.
It was like half a cow.
It was so good. And
or pig, I guess,
and it was pork. It wasn't cow. It wasn't pulled beef.
It was pulled. But
it was pulled. He pulled it, man. He pulled the hell out of it.
He pulled the hell out of it.
Well, the only issue is that I like to eat a sandwich like a sandwich, and with this, because there's so much moisture, the bottom part of the bun, it was like, forget it. So I'm picking up a sloppy, greasy, and I loved every minute of it, but it's hot and I'm down there. And so that's what I had. It came with a little side of coleslaw.
Oh, man.
And then the wife went and got some egg rolls, some crab rangoons.
Uh-huh.
And then also Chick-fil-A fried chicken sandwich.
Got it.
So, yeah, so we had a little smorgasbord. There's plenty of other options. I almost got the gyro. If you don't like bells and what do they yell, Opa or whatever the hell it is? If you don't like that, don't go to Riverfest because they're going to be doing that all weekend.
Yeah.
Every time they sell a gyro, they ring the bell and they Opa.
Yeah, I went down there yesterday.
Last year we were down there and it was like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. I couldn't figure it out, and then we went over there and asked them.
I had tacos yesterday. Also delicious.
The burrito ones?
Well, I shared with a couple
Shocking that the communist in the building shared with everybody else.
We got a couple different things.
Did you cut it into little pieces so everybody got some?
Tracy and I did split one and a half, actually.
Make me sick to my stomach.
We had bira, and then we also had the chicken, which don't pass up the chicken, by the way. So
much good food.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Riverfest in La Crosse this weekend, and Doc texting in saying all others fail in comparison. Thank you, Scrady. Happy 4th of July.
I don't know about that, Doc. I don't know about that.
I'm feeling it this morning. I am.
I'm feeling it too.
I'm gonna play whatever the hell I want. I don't have to work tomorrow. I don't have to do anything.
Me too.
So I'm gonna play a lot of weird music, a lot of American music. We're gonna talk about America.
I'm gonna go shopping with one of my daughters today, this afternoon.
Might get a contribute
lunch,
to the economy.
Right?
Very nice.
And then
I'm definitely not going to eat lunch today because it's gonna be like friggin' 90 out.
Then I might have a couple cold ones in the beer tent tonight and make nice with people.
That a girl.
And then tomorrow I'm gonna what are you looking? You're laughing at me. What? Make nice to people? I'm gonna talk to people. So I'm gonna face to face with people. I'm gonna do that.
I can't wait to watch this go down.
I'm bringing my best friend Lori. So that should be.
Christ.
So,
Do they serve wine down there? You
we
guys
got
bringing
started
some in
early. She's like, "What time are we going?" I'm like, settle down.
Yeah, I got friends texting me at like 9:30 last night.
Tomorrow,
they're like, I'm in town. Are you Riverfesting? Like, bitch, I'm in bed.
I'm
9:30.
gonna cook some dogs tomorrow. I'm gonna see my mom this weekend.
Very nice. We got lots to get to, so let's get to it. Music in a bit from Jackal. We're an American band. We'll kick it off with some Jackal. Pow!
Yeah, chainsaws.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. He's guilty, he's innocent, he's P. Diddy. What's more American than that?
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Those, of course, were the charges that were laid out before the Diddy trial, and this is what was announced yesterday.
They acquitted him of the sex trafficking, which he was absolutely innocent of. They acquitted him of the racketeering conspiracy that he was absolutely innocent of, and all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that. And that is no longer just me saying that. That is the verdict of our jury.
Diddy found guilty and innocent, the jury delivering a split verdict yesterday. He was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors may seek a sentence of up to 20 years, but Diddy's lawyers are hopeful he'll only get 2. After the verdict,
2?
Diddy kneeling down and praying, kind of laying on a chair after being let out of the courtroom as supporters cheered. Apparently one girl got naked. Some guy was out there squirting people with baby oil and celebrating.
What?
We are living in a joke show, clown show, man. It's crazy. Diddy was denied bail and will remain behind bars until he sentenced his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, petitioning to keep him locked up, claiming he could be a danger to her if he's set free. Judge felt he couldn't prove that he wouldn't be, and there will be a hearing on an expedited sentencing on Tuesday of next week. But Diddy, guilty and innocent, all at the same time. Meanwhile, a massive explosion at a fireworks factory in California, movie-esque is the way I would describe it.
The whole house just started shaking and then shook again. We thought it was an earthquake.
Yeah, I was really scared when it first happened.
And the windows were just going back and forth. And my husband came running down the stairs. What was that? And I'm like, I don't know. Just a couple seconds later, there was another big explosion.
5 minutes and the next one hit 5 minutes again. And after that, that's when everybody started coming outside.
7 people unaccounted for after a Northern California warehouse storing fireworks exploded into a huge fireball, sending pyrotechnics bursting above the scene. Firefighters responding to the warehouse on Tuesday at about 6 p.m. found explosions and numerous buildings on fire. The warehouse then detonated. Helicopter video, again, stunning. White smoke pouring from the roof before it erupted in a fireball. 7 individuals remain unaccounted for. Bunch of acres getting burned now because of that. Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, this whole thing.
Brian Koberger has pled guilty to the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, basically doing that to avoid the death sentence. Kind of a plea deal.
Yeah, he agreed to get life in prison if without the death sentence.
The judge approving a plea agreement that spares him from the death penalty. In exchange, he will serve 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. As part of the agreement, he pled guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count to felony burglary. Did so with both of his parents in the gallery, his father wincing as the judge formally accepted his agreement. People hearing him speak for the first time. The case, of course, drawing national attention.
There's a
Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodal, and Kaylee Goncalves found stabbed to death in an off-campus rental home in Idaho back in November of 2022. And this guy, former PhD in criminology at nearby Washington State University, arrested in December of 2022 and now pleading guilty.
Yeah, there's a documentary out too with friends and family of the victims talking, and I think the thing that's upsetting to them is they are, because he's pled guilty and he won't go to trial, that
no more information.
No more information.
Right. There's not going to be a trial where a lot of stuff is laid out and maybe some
Nobody
more.
knows why or how. I mean, like,
well,
it appears he just targeted them and that was planning to do that. And that's, I mean, it's
awful.
It's just, but leaving 2 people alive in the house, too. I mean,
the food processing company Del Monte Foods filing for bankruptcy, looking for a buyer. The 138-year-old company, best known for their canned fruits and veggies, announced that it will voluntarily enter Chapter 11, planning to sell off all of its assets. A strategic step forward for Del Monte Foods. Well, we saw Red Lobster do this, right? Where they sold off a bunch of underperforming restaurants after filing and then reopening, right? That's what companies do. So it's a debt consolidation type move, and it's not uncommon, but they're the next up when it comes to bankruptcy, Del Monte. And locally, a Holman man has been arrested in Winona after the homicide investigation in Holman the other night. I'm not sure if you heard about this.
I did not.
Holman police saying late last night that a Winona man is arrested on a homicide charge in the death of a person found in a residence early Sunday morning. Police Chief Shane Collins said that Jacob Andrew Claver was arrested in Winona at about 9 o'clock last night. Currently in the Winona County Jail awaiting extradition to Wisconsin to face a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. Holman Police Chief said officers went to 815 Granham Street on Sunday morning for the report of an unresponsive man. The residence is located on the east side of Holman. Officers found a man dead at the residence. Statement yesterday said that based on what they found during their investigation, it was determined that the person died as a result of a homicide. The statement did not say how the person died. It is said that throughout the investigation, Claver was identified as a suspect. However, the statement didn't provide any details on what the connection was between the victim and Claver. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on the eve of the 4th of July. Lots of people texting in. Very happy to hear the Scrady version, the original version of the Thursday song.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. If you want to join us this morning, you can do so by going to rockmornings.com for all of our contact info. You can also, of course, download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app and submit photos and videos and voicemails all through the app.
Yeah, please do. Share your celebrations this weekend with us in photo and video or a voicemail.
Don't share the photos of the fire. I know what fireworks look like.
Maybe not
okay?
fireworks.
Please.
Don't
I don't know. And stop recording them. No one's going to watch them, right? We know what fireworks look like. We don't need your phone video.
Well, unless you're Marty and there's something exciting.
If something cool happens, like they do something with a flag or drones or whatever, okay.
Yeah.
But
just regular
ass fireworks. Don't get me wrong, love them. Don't need to see videos on YouTube. Not watching them. Yeah, right over there. As I mentioned, lots of Americana today. If you're not into that, then I apologize. You maybe want to go down the dial a little bit. Find somebody else. Jackal. We're an American band.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock me, roll me, jackal me off. Pa-pow! We're an American band from an American band. That would be Jackal.
I've heard of them. I know that guy.
We've said this before, and I'll say it again. You don't talk with Jesse. Jesse talks to you.
That's correct.
Whenever we've done an interview with Jesse James Dupree, whether it's in person or on the phone or otherwise,
we don't do the interview.
You just sort of pull the chain and let it go.
Yep. That guy has a lot of energy.
Yeah, and he's like 90.
He's not 90.
He's not 90, but he is. Look, he's not a spring chicken anymore, okay?
It never fades, though. He's
infinite amounts of energy.
Agreed.
Which we love. We count on it. Pa-pow. American music this morning as we get ready to celebrate our freedom tomorrow with some grilling and some beers and some missing fingers and some fireworks. It's going to be a hell of a good time.
Keep all your fingers. Please be safe.
And toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Brew Crew beat the Mets in the early game yesterday, 7-2. Then Jacob Mizorowski finally got knocked around in the late game, serving up back-to-back homers as the Brewers lost 7-3 to the Mets in the second game of the day-night doubleheader, his first loss of his career. Final game of that three-game series is tonight at 6:10.
2-2. Tapped on the ground to the right side. Alonso makes the flip, and the ball game is over. Edwin Diaz gets the final 4 outs. Blade Tidwell gets his first big league win. Brandon Nimmo a grand slam. Lindor a big night. And the Mets snap their 4-game losing streak as they beat the Brewers and get a split of the doubleheader. Final, the Mets 7 and the Brewers 3.
Again, the final game of that 3-game series tonight at 6:10. 2 outs in the 6th inning, his 100th pitch of the night. It finally happened.
The ravine rises, ready to erupt. 3-2 for Kershaw. The 20th pitcher in baseball history. The 4th left-handed pitcher, but only the 3rd to record 3,000 career strikeouts with one team.
Outside corner slider to free Chicago White Sox third baseman Vinny Capra, making Clayton Kershaw the 20th member of the 3,000 strikeout club. Kershaw, the Dodgers' longtime ace, the 4th lefty to reach 3,000 strikeouts, joining Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, and CC Sabathia. That's pretty good company.
I was just going to say, I've heard of some of those.
Also, just one of 5 pitchers to accumulate that many strikeouts with one team, along with Walter Johnson, Bob Gibson, Steve Carlton, and John Smoltz. I love when you have baseball records because it's like the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cool to hear that stuff. But congratulations to Clayton Kershaw. Got himself his 3,000th career strikeout. Red Panda going to be okay. The girl with the unicycle and the cups and the bowls and the NBA halftime show.
Yeah.
Fell down.
Yes.
Yeah, Red Panda intends to be ready for next season. Popular performer fell off her unicycle, crashing to the court during the halftime performance of the WNBA Commissioner's Cup final between the Fever and the Lynx on Tuesday. Has a broken left wrist and will need further consultation with an orthopedic surgeon. Real name is Rong Niu. Spent 11 hours in a hospital in Minneapolis with a pair of Lynx staffers with her the entire time. The Chinese-American acrobat was heading home for treatment and recovery, which should take a couple of months. Her handler, her agent, said she is very grateful. Red Panda thanks everyone for all the kind wishes and support. It means the world to her. The fall apparently caused by part of her unicycle being damaged during transit. They shipped that thing coach.
They
apparently,
did.
The guys underneath the plane were throwing it around. Elsewhere in sports, Diego Luna. You can thank him for the berth in the finals for Team USA. The U.S. men's national team defeating Guatemala 2-1 in the Gold Cup semifinal yesterday.
The United States will go to the Gold Cup final for the 13th time in their history.
Luna scored in the 4th minute of the game, putting the U.S. up early 1-0. Then he scored again in the 15th minute to give the U.S. a 2-0 lead. They gave up a goal later in the game, but they earned the team a place in Sunday's final against Mexico, which is at 7 p.m. USA, bitches! Breathe it in. We're winning that thing. And if we don't, we'll just win something else, because that's what we do. We win.
I'm feeling so patriotic. I'm watching this British couple on TikTok who are here visiting.
Nothing says America like British people.
Who are visiting from the UK.
I'm just busting your
and
balls.
They've been here for like 3 weeks. Well, actually, I think they just left this
We're
week, but
East Coast or Middle America?
they did Utah. They did...
But not the good. They didn't start in a good
Well,
state.
they did like Washington and Pacific Coast and the Redwoods in California. And,
beautiful, but...
And the desert. And then, think of the extremes, right? They were in the mountains when it was snowing, and then they were in, basically the desert the next day. So, but I'm feeling they love everything they're seeing and just being here and the extremes and the vastness and our national parks and our space and our
and the freedom. That's what they really love, is the freedom.
And our food. They're
and our freedom.
And they're eating all the fun, like he's having an In-N-Out burger for the first time or whatever it is. And they're just going around doing Americans. They went to Walmart and they got like a big giant flag bow and shorts and a T-shirt and like did the whole light up, USA sunglass. I mean, the whole thing, right? Their cart's just full of America. And listening to them talk about how much fun they're having, how people are so nice to them, what they're seeing and experiencing, and you're just, it's hard not to feel like a homer. You know what I mean? Like proud and, it's go USA.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, celebrating America. All morning long, we'll get to some 4th of July stuff, stats and info, hypothetical questions for one another after 7 o'clock. And if you want to join us, rockmornings.com. Vicky says, thank you for the GFR, but done by Jackal. Grand Funk Railroad. Mm-hmm. Excellent tune. I turned the radio on. Thanks. Have a happy and safe 4th. Thank you, Vicky. Appreciate that. Very nice of you. We'll get to some more Americana in just a bit. Also, again, some more 4th of July stats and info coming up.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
A hot dog is the worst thing you can put in the human body. They've done studies that every hot dog you eat takes 30 minutes off of your life. That should be a national emergency. Does it stop us? Hell no. Instead, we have a contest and put it on ESPN on the 4th of July to shine a light on the best and brightest of us all. We feed them to our children at the barbecue. We yell, you get off that trampoline, put out your cigarette, and eat this hot dog. But who cares, right? 30 minutes off your life. It's not like it comes off tonight. You know what I mean? It's not like you eat the hot dog today and you lose it this evening. No, it's at the end when it's weird and scary. So you're telling me with every hot dog I eat, I have 30 minutes less of staring at a wall in a nursing home? Waiting for a stranger to change me? Sounds to me like hot dogs are a superfood.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So Nathan's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. ESPN starts at about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
That's 11 o'clock. Okay, that's what I was looking at.
Also on the TV, streaming services and whatnot. Today on Netflix, the 2nd and final season of The Sandman, the DC comic show starring Tom Sturridge as Morpheus, the ruler of dreams.
Everyone loves a good story. But all stories come to an end.
Everyone here seems to not notice or care. The world is ending.
We did have some good times, didn't we? But you cannot save yourself now.
The dreaming will survive. Even if I didn't want.
Netflix, the 2nd and final season of The Sandman. Over on Max today, the streaming premiere of Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. In the sequel to Batman Ninja, Japan has disappeared and a giant island full of superpowered Yakuza now floats above Gotham City. I don't know,
What are you
dude.
talking about?
It's an animated thing. I don't know. It's on Max.
Okay.
Tomorrow, of course, the 4th of July fireworks shows. Tomorrow night on NBC, Macy's 4th of July fireworks. Meanwhile, on the CW tomorrow night, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular. Also on Max tomorrow, the streaming premiere of Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers from the 1930s fighting vampires.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now.
Sinners, streaming premiere on Max tomorrow.
I like that movie.
As I mentioned, Joey Chestnut returns to the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest tomorrow on ESPN.
There will be a day that is the end. The collapse of time and all that stood within it. A day of nothing, of no one, of nowhere. But that day is not today. Today, we burn bright. Today, we blind the earth with our desire. And while it is still ours, we will bend history to witness this moment, to witness this man. The humble consequence of carbon, the fleeting spray of life turned diamond by the sun, forever suspended in that instant, indifferent to the gods, for he does not envy their power. He will not plead their pardon. He will curse and spit and sneer and shout his name at the heavens. I am the shining arc of humanity. Yield to my dominion. And if we must compete for our place within existence, we submit as our champion, the champion of the world, of now and of always, of the air, of the fire, of the sea, of the land, of the free. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nathan's famous 4th of July champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
Hail to the king, baby.
World record 73 dogs in 10 minutes.
Dude's back.
73 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
1 year off after he signed a deal with some weird vegan hot dog thing, which, hey, look, dude, got to get paid. Dude's getting paid.
Paycheck while you can get
Doesn't mean
it,
you got to
right?
like him. Just means you got to get paid.
So the guy last year that won because he wasn't there, Patrick
He was in the
Bertol-
60s, like 62 or something.
Bertoletti. Okay, that's
bertoletti.
58 dogs.
Okay, I knew he was near 60.
So 20 dogs.
Yeah. Oh,
more.
Joey's going to handle his business. I unless something. Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. He choked out a protester in the midst of eating hot dogs and still beat everybody. The guy rushed the stage. He choked him out because they don't have ample security, and then he went back to downing hot dogs, and he still won handily.
By the way, Nathan says
he's a force of nature.
That the best way to cook a hot dog is to like pan fry it, kind of like we were talking about yesterday, boil it or whatever, but add water to a skillet or a frying pan, cover the surface with a half inch of water, turn the heat on medium high till the water starts to boil, add the hot dogs gently. Only want to cook a few at a time with this method. Don't cram your dogs in that pan, and then
cram it in your cram hole, the floor.
Kind of steam them. But they say if you want to take it up a notch, replace the water with butter. So you're basically pan frying
butter
your hot dogs in butter. Ugh.
Also on television this weekend on Disney Plus and Hulu on Sunday, the series premiere of the shark documentaries. Investigation Shark Attack, Shark Quest, Hunt for the Apex Predator, and Super Shark Highway as we get ready for Shark Week later this month. That's what's on the boob tube. Not going to be watching too much TV this weekend. Going to be celebrating my freedom in the best country in the world, America. And if you don't like it,
I might watch a movie tonight after the beer tent, I think.
Got a text, said, love the energy, Brian. Keep it up. Hell yes, freedom. Vicky said, again, thanks for the Grand Funk Railroad done by Jackal. Excellent tune. Have a happy and safe 4th. Same to you, Vicky. Maggie in Prairie du Chien wanted to know if I was planning on playing the Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner. I could.
Could you?
Yeah. Do you see anybody in here stopping me? You want to talk force of nature?
Oh, brother.
What? What's more American than a guy
lighting a guitar on fire?
Lighting a guitar on fire at a music festival.
Basically.
Because he was playing it so damn good. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate that. Kenny wanted to hear some Poison this morning. Great way to kick off the 4th of July weekend. See, Brett Michaels has got to change. He apparently had a scare. He's got diabetes, right?
Yeah, I know
and
that. Did he have a...
He didn't have a thing on stage, but he had a scare, and he said he's going to have to look at, changing up the way he tours and all that stuff in the future. But next year, 2026, Poison 40th anniversary tour. I'm there, dude. Hank said, Murica, that's the way we do it. Let's hear some Domination by Pantera. Doc wanted to hear that Yankee Rose from David Lee Roth. So there you go, Doc.
Oh, that was his suggestion. Okay. Got it.
But yeah, I'm open to suggestions on the eve of the 4th of July. What?
I'm just thinking about this Nathan's thing. I'm having a hot dog bar, but I wasn't planning to.
So are you
fry
pre-cooking them all and throwing them in a roaster or something?
I was going to grill them.
All right.
Well, on the grill is listed on here too, right?
Look, I know the people that come to your place, and they don't want buttery dogs cooked in a pan, all right? They want the locally sourced,
they do not.
Grain-free.
They do probably want some cheddar wurst, though. They like the cheese.
Hot dogs
they want
that come in sustainable packaging.
No.
Bunch of freaking hippies over there.
Just because I got 2 kids that have celiac disease doesn't mean they will eat a good dog.
I didn't say anything about your kids. I said the people who come over to your house. All the lightweights that come over there and I can only have a half a dog. Can you cut this in half?
Cheese in the middle. I'm going to put some cheese in them that have the cheddar wurst.
One shred of shredded cheese. They don't want a doppel of it. They want a shred.
I think I'm going to do a chili dog and then a Chicago dog. For me personally,
you're gonna down 2 dogs.
I'm gonna down 2 dogs.
Oh, you got a bigger shirt than that?
Yeah, I'll be at home.
Comfy clothes. Hell yeah. Maggie, Prairie du Chien, here you go.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
The American badass, the stone cold pimp of the nation. That, of course, Kid Rock.
July 11th in Kentucky, in South Dakota, July 18th, and in South Carolina, July 25th. He's got a few dates touring this year, not many.
Tom said, thanks for Kid Rock. Needed that this morning to pick me up. You're welcome, Tom. Tisha said, morning, Brian and Gene. Had a great time at the Big River Rally. It was especially awesome being able to meet and greet Drowning Pool. Thanks again. On another note, I was hoping you could play some Drowning Pool to start my 4th of July and get ready for Rockfest. Have a great 4th. Cheryl wants to hear some Stevie Ray Vaughan this morning. People are feeling
the
eclectic music that you don't normally hear.
Musicians?
Yeah, Americana. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
You went to Kid Rock's place, did you? Did you have a beer there?
It was by far the best place down there, in my opinion. In terms of just what I look for. I mean, don't get me wrong. We had a Doc Holiday's was cool. It's got a divey bar vibe to it.
This is Nashville we're talking about.
Yeah, when we went to Nashville, there's there's a million bars. Obviously,
yeah, I had a good.
The nice thing was that
at a bunch of them, but
all the other bars were too country for me, and I just can't. We went into Lainey Wilson's place, and it was like, and they're singing sad songs, and I'm just like, bro, I'm not in for this. I'm not here for that. And a lot of the bars have these bands and they're doing cover tunes and whatever, and there's a lot to choose from. There's no shortage, but just in terms of the vibe and the way that it was just I felt right being at Kid Rock's. Doc Holliday's was a close second, just because it had that dive bar thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places, but his Honky Tonk and Steakhouse was on the corner there and big and full.
Yeah, it was packed every time we went down there.
Yes.
That's for damn sure. A tour guide. This is cool. Her name is Portia Duke. That's a name, huh?
Like on one of the buses where they're talking and telling you about everything you're seeing?
Not quite sure what kind of tour guide, but a tour guide named Portia Duke recently taking a train through Alaska and happened to be at a stop in a remote town and heard a kitten meowing from underneath the train on the tracks.
The kitten that finds you? Is it
Could not get to the kitten, unfortunately, because of the train and all the stuff that was in the way. But decided to go back the very next day to see if the cat was still there. And it was. At least 5 other trains had passed by over the kitten while it was stuck there in between the tracks. But it wasn't injured. Portia says that she and her boyfriend might adopt it. How do you might adopt a kitten you found a day later after you went back? You have to adopt that cat.
I was like, well, we got to go, and either we find her and that'll be great, or don't, and we can tell ourselves that maybe her mom came back, but at least we'll have an answer. And there was really just no thought in our head that she would actually still be there. And there she was, still meowing.
That's called the cat distribution system, and that just means that cat belongs to you now.
Yeah, that's your
how
property.
That's how that works.
This is in a place called Willow, Alaska. A small kitten able to be rescued after a tour guide traveling on the Alaskan Railroad heard the distress calls. Portia Duke said she first noticed the kitten's cries earlier this week while the train was stopped in Willow on the way from Denali to Whittier. Duke said she saw the little kitten underneath, but was too small to get over the edges. She tried to get off of the train. She couldn't. Would have been left behind due to the schedule, apparently, so she decided to go back the following day, see if the cat was still there, and the kitten was, and now she and her boyfriend might.
Yes, that's just, yeah. The cat chooses you. You've been chosen, honey.
Haven't decided if they're going to keep the kitten, but for now they're calling her Willow. She said railroad employees also said they would be happy to give Willow a forever home. Yeah, obviously the cat should be okay, but come on, man. And the only thing I can look, if you're a tour guide and you're traveling all over the world, maybe not the best situation for the cat. So, okay. But you have to adopt that cat.
I think it chose you.
Right?
You have been chosen.
Right?
You have been chosen.
Did you see the video of the cat?
No, I don't want to.
Face full of milk, the whisker. Just that milk drunk cat thing. The eyes go glassy and they're just like zoning out. Yeah. It's good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, this is
what?
Right from our home state of Wisconsin. Jack Moran. Have you heard of Jack Moran?
I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Born in Superior in 1925.
So a little bit older than my mother.
Andrew Roth, born on the other side of the world in Hungary in 1927. And earlier this month, those two men met in L.A.
Huh?
But it was not the first time that they had met and been in the same place at the same time. A Holocaust survivor named Andrew Roth got to meet one of the American Army vets who helped free him 80 years ago. Jack Moran, part of a group that liberated Andrew's concentration camp back in 1945. Both men now in their late 90s. Andrew using a wheelchair, but when they met, Jack told him he didn't have to get up, and Andrew insisted. He stood up, gave the guy a big hug, and they had a little get-together 8 decades later. 80 years
I'll switch you
later.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? There's a whole big write-up on npr.org if you want to check it out. But an impressive story and an emotional story about
both teenagers when they endured what they endured, and now approaching 100 years old, by the way. Both of them.
Yeah. Moran and the U.S. Army. Both teenagers enduring devastating Nazi atrocities, horrors of war. Yeah. Crazy. Good story, though. If you haven't read it, it's on the NPR website, npr.org. We've got some more American music coming up in just a bit. Some 4th of July stuff. We'll get to our hypothetical questions. You're going first. Are you ready? Probably not.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. We'll see what Gene's got in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Do you know what today is?
Do you know what today is?
It's Thursday.
Thursday
is more than just another Thursday.
Okay, that's today. What about tomorrow?
What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the 4th of July.
4th of July tomorrow.
4th of July? You mean the 4th of July?
Celebration of our nation's birth.
Are there fireworks?
People are going to love these fireworks.
Right, boys, there's going to be some fireworks. Got a lot of business to get through today.
It's showtime.
Yes, 4th of July is tomorrow. We celebrate our freedom from the tyrannical rule of England. Dump some tea in the river. Punch a British person in his British face. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Drink some lemonade. Eat a hot dog.
Bake a pie. Call your mom. Tell you love her. All that stuff.
Go see baseball.
Watch a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some beers. What else?
Mm-hmm.
Eat some cheese. 4th of July tomorrow.
I know a lot of people spend the 4th of July going to national parks or state parks because that's America.
Speaking of that.
Yes.
A record 72.2 million people are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home this weekend. AAA says the worst time to be on the road today is between 2 and 6 p.m., but Wednesday, yesterday, was the absolute worst day to travel.
Was it really?
Well, people are leaving early to get where they got to go to be there for the 4th. So you leave on Wednesday, you get there, Thursday you can get, kind of settled in, and then Friday's the big...
Lots of camping, lots of boating, lots of outdoor activities.
Burgers topping the list of a new poll of our favorite foods to grill. Burgers followed by steaks and then hot dogs. This is just strictly for 4th of July.
Yeah, hot dogs are my favorite. It's just it's
easy.
It's easy and
Everybody
delicious.
Everybody likes hot dogs.
And they're not so expensive with 25 people coming to my house. I mean, they're not doing steaks for everybody.
They're like a burger. They're fully customizable. You know what I mean? You can do kind of whatever.
I'd
Onions
rather
and
have a
relish
burger than a hot dog, but 'tis the season.
86% of Americans will celebrate the 4th of July in one way or another, according to a new poll with the National Retail Federation. Pretty much in line with the last 2 years when 87% said they were celebrating. The lowest ever was 76% back in 2020 because of the stupid-ass pandemic. But the 4th of July is here. Have a great weekend. Celebrate safely. Drink some beers, grill some meat, fireworks, whatever. Go on the river.
Travel, see mom, whatever
all that
looks
stuff.
like.
It is Thursday, and we will talk to Office Cora a bit later on. But before that, it's time for Hypothetical Thursday, Gene.
Oh, okay.
You get to go first this week. Hypothetical questions for one another to see how we will answer them. Do you have a theme one, a 4th of July theme?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And it's almost another would you rather, but this is interesting to me. I don't know what you're going to pick. I always think I know what your answer is going to be, and a lot of the time I'm right just because we've worked together a long time and I know you, but this one I don't know. Would you rather always be busy or always be bored? See? I don't know.
Well, yeah. There's really no good answer to that. Right?
Of course not.
Because sometimes I like to be busy. Makes the day go faster.
Of course.
Right? I like checking things off the list.
I know you do.
You know what I mean? Like a set of things I have to do, and mentally I've got them lined up, and bing, bang, boom,
and then
done.
You're like accomplished. Bam.
I guess, yeah. The dopamine, whatever you want to call that. But then there's also a lot of times where I like to just sit around on the couch and be a bum.
No, I know.
And not do anything.
Well, being a bum, I think, and being bored are two different things, right? Relaxing after, you've worked or, saying, I'm going to take this weekend to just chill because whatever is different than like saying to yourself, I'm freaking bored. Like, this sucks. What's going on?
I don't know if I want to be bored all the time.
Yeah.
I love my downtime. You know what I mean? I love not having things to do.
Downtime.
Chilling out in the basement with the air conditioning so cold. I love all that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd love it all the time. So, but I also don't
want to be busy all the time. I know. A healthy balance of both is the way to go. You just can't. That's not the
question. The question is which one. I guess I'll go busy. Right?
Yeah. I thought you'd take that. I mean, downtime is enjoyable and wonderful, but bored, okay, I've done all the downtime now, right? Like if and there is nothing left to do,
right?
I think would be difficult.
Yeah, I don't think that I could just sit around all the time and not have stuff to do. It would drive me nuts.
Yes. I think it would too.
I'm assuming you're busy all the time?
Yes, hell yes.
Yes, that was an easy question for you because you're a psycho and you
I'm
can't.
Not a psycho. I appreciate. Don't make that face. There's a difference.
You can't relax. You have no idea how to relax.
That is not true.
You cannot relax.
That is absolutely not true. I can totally relax.
Everyone that knows you would say the same. They would say, you know who can't relax? Gene.
I can relax. The bored thing though.
You can't sit still. You can't. You literally cannot.
That's not true.
It is so true. It might be the most true thing about you.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting still right now.
No, you're not. You're very active. You're touching things. You're moving around. You're looking at your computer.
Stills like this? I got to just freeze
I bet even during a massage, you can't just lay there. You're kind of itchy to move. I bet during a massage, you can't just lay there.
Sure, I can. But yes, I'm taking busy. Overboard.
All right. Hypothetical Thursday, asking each other hypothetical questions to see what our answers will be. We've got Office Core coming up later on. Bad news, happy music as well. Some more 4th of July stuff. If you want to join us, you can, of course, go to rockmornings.com. Find all our contact info. Doc wanted some Yankee Rose. Maggie wanted some Jimi Hendrix. Somebody wanted some Stevie Ray Vaughan. Who was that? Cheryl?
Somebody wanted Kid Rock. We did that.
We did some Kid Rock. This one was on the list of the songs you need on your 4th of July playlist. It's pretty obvious, right?
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with American Girl on the 4th of July Eve. Getting ready to celebrate freedom, bitches. Listening to good tunes, eating some good food, going back for seconds, thirds, going in a pool, lighting off fireworks, drinking beers.
Tubing down the river, maybe, doing some little fishing. Maybe doing some fishing.
People watching. Oh, it's good people watching on the 4th. I told you about that people watching we were doing years ago up there on the top of the ramp. Watch that guy.
He struggled is what he had.
He wasn't struggling.
Maybe you're filling up your gas tank and headed out today.
A lot
of people.
She was struggling to find a way out of that building.
A lot of people traveling, packing up the van, packing up the kids, getting the coolers and the camping stuff.
They thought we were cheering for the fireworks.
Don't forget your bug spray.
We were cheering for them. They were going at it. Lights on and everything.
Maybe some cornhole.
I'll show you a cornhole. The Brewers over the Mets in the early game yesterday, 7-2. Lost in the second game, 7-3, and final game of that 3-game series later today. Ohio woman suing Buffalo Bills first-round draft pick Maxwell Hairston, accusing him of sexually assaulting her back in 2021 when they both attended the University of Kentucky. According to the lawsuit filed on Tuesday, Hairston met the woman who identified herself as Rebecca Hendricks back in early 2021 when they were living in the same dorm that March, according to the lawsuit. Hairston went to her room without being invited, followed her into her room after she declined to hang out with him after Hendricks expressed her non-interest in engaging in sexual intercourse with him several times. Hairston, quote, forcefully removed her pajama shorts and sexually assaulted her, according to the lawsuit. Hairston, who has not been charged with a crime yet, hasn't responded.
No statement.
to the allegations. NHL and the NHL Players Association, along with the international officials, finalizing a deal agreed on long ago to send players to the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
The league, the union, the International Ice Hockey Federation, and the International Olympic Committee confirming the participation of NHL players at the Olympic Games for the first time since 2014. Best of the best, baby. Gary Bettman releasing a statement. Olympic participation will showcase the skill and talent of NHL players on an international stage. We are proud to collaborate with the organizations to bring the best hockey players in the world to the Olympics and make this happen in a way that benefits the game globally. Looking forward to it. That's 2026, by the way, next year. And the Seattle Storm going to unveil a statue of WNBA legend Sue Bird outside of their arena on August 17th.
That's cool.
She is the first player to be honored with a statue by a WNBA franchise.
That's very cool.
One of the most decorated players in basketball history, Bird spent her entire 21-season career with the Seattle Storm. Helped lead them to WNBA championships in 2004, 2010, 18, and 20. After retiring after the 2022 season, Bird became a minority owner in the organization. The statue unveiling ceremony will take place the morning prior to the Storm's afternoon game against the Phoenix Mercury. The team is calling it the Forever Sue Game. It will feature remarks from Sue Bird, the Storm leadership, city officials, and more. Statue created by the Rotblatt Amrani Studio, the company behind the statues for Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, and Dave Niehaus at T-Mobile Park, and a couple others as well.
That's very cool.
So Sue Bird getting the statue. Congratulations to her. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Hypothetical Thursday will continue with my question for Gene a bit later on. Plus, Office Core is going to join us just after 8 a.m. And if you want to join us, rockmornings.com.
Yeah, or on our app, 92.9 The X or 95.7 The Rock. Those are the apps. Get them and communicate with us. There's a voicemail on both of those where you can record and leave something for us. If you want to be part of the program, you can snap a photo or video and upload them there as well under the submit. You'll find that at the bottom of the app. So if you're out doing something or show us what your plans are for the weekend, maybe you already loaded the van and you're ready to go, or you're out on the river, or you're doing some fishing, whatever that looks like for you, or you got a stockpile of some fireworks. By the way, I haven't bought anything yet. I didn't get any spark. Like I got to stop by a side of the road thing today and get something. I'm ill prepared in that regard.
What are you getting?
Just some, little fountains and junk for the backyard. Nothing crazy. We used to do a bunch in my dad's memory out at the farm, but
the farm is sold.
The farm is sold.
No bunker busters, huh?
No, not anymore.
All right. No Hoosker Do's or Hoosker Don'ts?
Probably not this year.
No whistling kitties? All right. Sorry, Gene. Don't know what to tell you.
That's all right.
Don't go anywhere. More of Rock Mornings is coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
It's enough we got to gear up for 4th of July, which is another wasted American holiday. They ruined it. They ruined it. No longer in this country are we the people. Ever. And fireworks is the perfect example of that. What runs this country? Corporations. What runs 4th of July? Corporations! I don't want to be on the bridge and have to show up at 2 in the afternoon because by 7 in the afternoon, it's 400,000 people.
Fireworks in 11 more hours.
We drove from Wisconsin to see these. And then anyone that ever does that has been to those celebrations once. Because you realize it's the dumbest event ever. Once you get caught going, wow, that one looked like it almost landed on us, right? This must be the grand finale.
The hilarious Jim Brewer talking about fireworks, showing up several hours early. That is always a pain in the ass.
What?
Well, if you want to go to whatever your municipality is, whatever town you live in, whatever park they light them off from. It's July, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go down there,
early.
and you have to try to claim some semblance of land for you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Put a blanket down. Someone has to stay there to watch it all day, just so you can catch 40 minutes of fireworks at 10 p.m. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
So when I was reading about Eau Claire, it looks like you can watch it from 75 different locations. So that makes getting in and out very easy, it looks like.
Somebody texted in and said, can you get fireworks on the side roads up there in Wisconsin? And I'm talking about the real fireworks that explode, not just sparklers and fountains. Colorado went soft, doesn't allow that. Well, not really, but, that's there's ways around it. Just curious. So we actually, there's there are places all throughout the state of Wisconsin that sell fireworks year-round.
You were just at one a couple weeks ago, weren't you? Maximum Load?
Maximum Load Fireworks in Dodge. They have a big, beautiful store full of stuff. Mortars and everything.
You were telling me about that and
Everything.
the petting zoo and all that stuff.
And then there's places that pop up right around the 4th of July, the tents and stuff, and they've got, fireworks as well. And they're all over the area. So I think this is Brian from Colorado who texted in earlier this week to let us know that he listens. But yeah, Brian, I pretty much you can get them on the side of the road. There's, again, also stores all over that sell them. You can buy them, in the Walmarts and whatnot. But the number one thing, a new poll asking people, the number one thing they're planning on doing for the 4th is nothing.
What? For real?
Kind of funny when your hypothetical question for me. 43% of Americans in this poll said their plans include staying home and kicking back. A most common thing that we've got planned this weekend.
Is staying home and kicking back?
Yeah. 35% of people say they'll spend time with their family or go to a family get-together. 33% say they'll go to a barbecue or a picnic this weekend. 16% going to a fireworks display, which seems extremely low. Only 10% of people planning to set off fireworks themselves. Another 10% of people in a poll say they'll go to a 4th of July event like a Riverfest or a parade or something along those lines. 11% of people say they'll watch sports. 5% will go to the beach. 4% going camping or hiking. 2% will go fishing. And
wow, that seems so low for all of these things.
10% of people said none of the above. Literally no plans. So yeah, number one thing that we're doing for the 4th of July, according to a new poll, and this is take it with a grain of salt, but their big plan is to do nothing, sit around the house and be lazy. I got lots of plans.
Me too.
I got a lot of freedom to celebrate. Got to pack a lot into 3 days.
I'm going to go be an American and spend some money at retail locations today.
Hell yeah. Try to shop local, buy local, all that stuff.
I'm
Support mom and pops.
Just like a mad person this afternoon.
Yeah.
Gonna get some stuff for my get-together tonight. I think I'm gonna have a couple cold brewskis in a beer tent. Because that says America, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like
some countries don't even allow you to drink.
Like having
remember the soccer tournament? We were talking about that a couple years ago, where you couldn't go to the soccer tournament and have a drink while you're watching your team.
Watch some music, watch some bands cover other songs. Music. I love that. I am gonna mow the lawn, I think, too, also.
I did that earlier this week. Got that out of the way.
I'm gonna do that, I think. I'm gonna mow the lawn.
Got it out of the way. Knew it was gonna be a problem. Got it out of the way.
Gonna cook some dogs.
Yeah.
Make some stuff for tomorrow.
Speaking of dogs, Hypothetical Thursday.
Yes.
My turn to ask Gene a question.
Oh, boy.
Very simple. Similar to yours. Who'd you rather?
What?
4th of July edition.
Okay.
Summer starts in June, ends in what, September?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got June, July, August. You got about 3 months. 90-ish days. But you can only eat one. And it's the only thing you can eat for all 90 days. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever you're hungry.
This is what I've got to have?
Hamburger or hot dog. 2 most popular items at a 4th of July backyard barbecue.
Well,
now, you can have any accoutrement, toppings or whatever, but the show, the star of the plate is the dog, the tubular meat, or the hamburger patty.
I much prefer hamburgers over hot dogs, like as a rule. So I guess I'm going to say that, but I would get real sick of hamburgers real fast. You know what I mean? Like every day, all the time. Oof, that's a lot of burgers. But it's a lot of dogs, too. I probably have to say hamburger because I would always pick them over a hot dog. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of my dog bar tomorrow, right? Like once in a while, a good chili cheese dog or a Chicago dog or just a dog is delicious.
Do you always go with the same topping on your dog?
No. And as a matter of fact, like a staple when like the kids were growing up and I was, busy doing stuff on the weekends, right, would be I'd get a package of hot dogs. I'd be doing stuff. I'd microwave one of them, shove it in a bun, just put ketchup and mustard on it. And if I had cottage cheese in the house, I'd have a big side of cottage cheese with some chips. Oof. Mwah. A good Saturday. I've been doing stuff all day long, quick meal. But I don't think I could eat a hot dog every day either. You know what I mean?
I would eat a burger every day.
You could eat a burger every day?
Yeah.
Every meal?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd just be so much.
Well, I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't eat a breakfast burger. You know what I mean? Like I would just wait. I'd have one at lunch and one at dinner.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Or just one big one at like 1 o'clock with a ton of toppings and call it the meal of the day.
Mushroom Swiss burger. You've got rodeo burger with barbecue sauce and like onion rings on it. You've got there's a million. Classic American with cheese and lettuce and tomato. You got so many different ones. It's
you got
bacon,
a lot of different
cheddar.
dogs too, but I just don't think I could do it. I don't think.
Different buns. I mean, you could go with a pretzel roll. You could go with like a sourdough. You could go with a Texas toast. You could do the grilled cheese for buns.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of different.
That's too much. With curds on the top, a cheese curd.
I don't know if you need cheese curds with the
grilled cheese buns with the cheese curds on top of your cheeseburger.
That's a bit much on the cheese. But yeah, I would definitely choose burgers over dogs. And I, again, like you, I enjoy a good hot dog. I also enjoy different toppings on my dogs. But I just wouldn't be like, it'd be an exercise in futility almost, because at some point I'd just be like, no, I'm not doing any more dogs.
So I do have to tell you the story quick about the dogs. We had hot dogs at Ella's graduation party, and I got them from Bubba's. And there was a friend, a dad of a friend of Ella's that was there, and he must have had a dog, right? Fast forward 3 weeks after her party is that daughter's party.
Gotcha. And you're going over there.
And we get there, and the mom says, "Where did you get the hot dogs?" He won't shut up about he wanted me to text you and find out where you got the hot dogs from.
Really?
And he came over and he said, "Hey,
first thing out of his mouth.
Where'd you get those?" And I'm like, dude, that's such a dude thing to do. Like, the hot dog. I ate the hot dog. I got the hot dog on the mind.
Well, the poor guy was obsessing about it, and his wife wouldn't take. That's how much she cares about him. Obviously, they should get divorced.
Like, I'll wait until
they should obviously get divorced.
I'll wait until I see her next to ask her about the hot. I'm not gonna.
That is a divorceable offense right there.
So,
honey, just text her and ask her where she got the. No,
you
gotta wait 3 weeks. You can't send one text?
He was thinking about the hot dogs is what I'm saying.
Boy, she obviously does not love her husband very much.
Yes, but I told her. We got the dog situation
That's
covered.
A divorceable offense. You could take that to a judge right now, and the judge would rule in your favor. You get full custody. The man would get full custody of those kids.
So
you see, Your Honor, what happened was I went to this graduation party, and I had this really good hot dog, and I didn't know where it came from, and my wife could have easily found out with a text message, but I had to wait 3 whole effing weeks.
Right. Hoping that I was going to show up at their graduation party.
And I didn't even know if I was going to go to this thing or if they were going to come to that party. Yeah. The judge would be like, gavel down, full custody, and you got to pay him. Match, what is it with the money? You got to give them the money. What's the money thing? What is that?
What are you talking about? Child support?
No, the money thing, where you make less and you rely on them. What the hell is that thing? Matrimony? What the hell is that?
You mean
marital? I don't know. That thing. Yeah, obviously me, but I work in radio. I don't make anything. What the hell is
he's
that?
picking dogs is the end of my story. It's that he's picking.
I can't believe the wife wouldn't pick up the phone.
She found out eventually and then bought him a bunch of dogs.
Could have. Matt said, real patriots eat cheeseburgers. You guys over here talking about hamburgers. What state do you live in? Come on now. Loves and kisses.
We were talking about cheese.
The base is a hamburger. It's a burger inside of 2 buns, and then whatever you add to it makes it.
Well, you said the Swiss and mushroom.
Yeah,
I said the cheese curd.
I said cheese a lot. I talked about 2 grilled cheese sandwiches as the buns.
I like blue cheese on my burger, but I couldn't do that every day.
Why don't you go put up a tent or something there, Malum?
That was Malum?
Yeah, Mr. Chug Ravioli out of the can.
Cold.
It's not cold. It's room temperature, and it's fully cooked. It's totally safe. Sometimes you're in a hurry. You don't have time to heat up the ravioli. You just got to get it in your system.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I've been there. You pop that top, and it's all.
What?
Yeah, it's like, why dirty a dish? Alimony. There you go. That's the word. Thanks, Michelle. I knew it was a word. Yeah, that guy's getting alimony and full custody of the kids.
And a lot of dogs.
And the house.
And the dogs.
Yeah, and she might get put in jail. I don't know these people from Adam, but I'm telling you, that's mean. That's cruel. Like, you could have just texted.
This is my hot dog story for you. I had a hot dog story, and I told you.
President of the United States of America is their name, and their songs are so short, we could do a double shot of them. It's Lump, it's Lump, and then it's Peaches. The Presidents of the United States of America. Great name for a band.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, and on Thursdays we are joined just after 8 o'clock by the one and only, the lovely Office Cora. How are you, sweetie?
I am great. How are you two?
We're doing great, Office Cora, and I actually got a text message about you a few minutes ago. It was from my friend Vicky. She said, "Are you going to make
Vicky?
A podcast out of today's show, or are you off like a prom dress afterwards? Don't want to miss Office Cora, but need to mow before it gets too hot."
Oh, that's so sweet.
So she's going to tune in later to the podcast, which you can hear daily at rockmornings.com.
Because of you.
Because she wants to find out what you have to say, Office Cora.
Well, Vicky, you are just I'm your biggest fan. I'm very proud of you for getting out there mowing.
Yeah.
Well, she wants to get it done before it gets too hot.
Yeah, she's trying to get it before it's too hot.
Now, we were talking before we got on air with Office Cora about Back to the Beginning, which is Saturday, and it's the final Black Sabbath show of all time. And I know that on 92.9 The X this weekend, if you're tuning in, it's going to be a Back to the Beginning weekend, noon to 7 tomorrow, noon to 9 on Saturday. 4 Black Sabbath /Ozzy /concert participant, i.e. Metallica, Tool, Pantera songs, an hour. So if you want to tune in to 92.9 The X on Friday and Saturday, and why wouldn't you? You're going to hear all sorts of really cool music from all sorts of bands that are going to be part of the Black Sabbath final concert ever.
Yeah.
And Cora knew nothing about it. Cora, what are they doing up there? They got you working too hard.
Yeah, that's not cool. I'm so glad you guys are around to keep me informed, because this is epic. I can't even believe it. Ozzy, his last performance live. I have to see that. BackToTheBeginning.com. I will definitely be tuning in.
Well, that's one thing Office Core is going to be doing this weekend in the 715. What else are you going to be doing? You going to go out and do some 4th of July stuff tomorrow? You lighting fireworks off? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, there's so much 4th of July happening in the Valley. The Rockets' red glare on America's 249th birthday is happening in Chippewa Falls. Starts at 10 o'clock. Eau Claire, the fireworks will be launched off the High Bridge at 10:05. And in Menominee at Wakanda Park, 10 o'clock. But they have live music starting at 3 o'clock with the Dweebs.
Ooh.
And they're so good. They have something called a pudding feed. I don't know what that is, but I'm interested. A pudding feed and a beer garden.
Is the pudding feed going to be somewhere air conditioned? Because I don't know about outdoor hot pudding.
I don't know, Gene, but it's all happening at Wakanda Park in Menominee.
Google this thing, Gene. I want to find out about pudding feeds. Is it just like is it like a chili cook-off where you try a bunch of different puddings?
I don't know, but
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of plans.
What is a pudding feed?
I know the Eau Claire Express have a game on the 4th, right? They're going to be playing tomorrow. And
yes. Oh, and the Brewing Project starts at noon. They have food trucks. They have all the craft beverages. They have entertainment. And if you get there early, they have prime viewing for the fireworks show. You can go up on their
that big, huge rooftop
patio.
bar there they got. It's pretty sweet.
And in Carson Park, they have train rides. If you are wearing all 3 colors, red, white, and blue, You can ride the train for free.
There's a ball game at Carson Park.
Otherwise, it's going to cost you $3. Yeah, wear red, white, and blue. Go on a free train ride, and then catch the ball game.
Cora, when was the last time you had a train ride?
Cora? Cora?
Like a train ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think I was saying?
That's what he said.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Have you ridden a train?
Are you accusing me of trying to say something else?
I rode a train last summer, Brian.
Gene rides a train all the time. Loves that train.
I haven't ridden a train.
High on cocaine.
Years.
I knew she was going to say
Been a long time. That was in your high school days when you would hop on and off a train?
Stupid pudding feet. I can't find anything.
All right, no info about the pudding train.
Hey,
you really piqued our interest with the pudding thing.
Investigate.
Yeah, well,
Is it
please.
like-
I checked out their Facebook page and everything.
Is it
They
like
just-
puddingfarts.com?
They say it like you should just know what it is.
Have you ever heard of pudding farts? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what you're. No, I don't know what you're talking.
No, don't Google it.
Do not do that.
I want to know.
It might break the internet in your building. Don't do it. Google it on Phil's computer. He's probably looked at it before.
For sure.
There's cake farts and pudding farts. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, I'll score. Yeah, don't just.
Nope, never heard of either one of those.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like you've got a busy weekend. Stay hydrated, Office Cora.
Hypothetical?
Definitely.
Do you have a hypothetical question for us?
Oh, yes. Okay. If I gave you $1 million to start a business,
If
what kind
I
of business
had
would
$1
you
million-
create?
What
$1 billion.
business would I create?
Yeah.
One, just strictly. All I have is $1 million.
Yes. $1 million is a lot of money, Brian.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I like. There's times where I want to have a neighborhood bar, and do that. But then I'm like, I don't really.
Cheers,
I
David Brian.
don't like people that much. Occasionally I like people, but not all the time.
Well, you could just be the owner.
Yeah, but then you got to look in on people and trust them, and
Seems difficult.
yeah, it does seem difficult. I don't know.
Do I have to be profitable?
Well, that's the point of
No.
starting a business, isn't it?
Pet store?
Yeah, but you could do it just for fun.
I could do a dog daycare type place.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that. Because
Yeah.
then, even if it's not profitable, you get to play with dogs.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Maybe could I buy into a business that already exists and be like a part owner?
Yeah, nap store, Brian.
Ooh, yeah. The nap store
For
still
busy
exists.
moms, it's a nap store.
One of those
That's
places.
always my genius idea, Cora. They're half daycare, half nap store.
A strip club. I'd buy a strip club. Start a strip club. You can't go wrong. Never going to go out of style. Everybody loves a good strip club. Amateur night on Thursdays. Yeah. Beat the clock on Fridays. Hell yeah, I'd strip it up.
How about you?
Beat the clock.
Cora.
You don't know what beat the clock is?
Cora,
have you ever been outside?
can we hang out more? I think you need to be around
What
us
do
a
you
little
mean?
So beat the clock is when
At
you.
a strip club?
bit. The drinks with
It's
the
the
time.
drinks.
You have to race?
No, so
No.
you go to it's a bar promotion where you go to a bar and it starts out like
The drinks
drinks are $1, right? So and then a half hour later they go up to $2, and then a half hour it encourages people to come out early to save money on drinks. It's called Beat the Clock, and so. When I was growing up, when I was in my early 20s, we had a bar in town where it was 25-cent taps for the first 20 minutes, and everybody would hammer these 25-cent taps, and then it would go to $1, and then it would go incrementally, and so.
Although I do like your thinking where you were thinking beat the clock in a more strippy way. I do like that, Cora. She was like, how does that work? Like, you got to time them to take their clothes off?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
who's
you
the
know,
fastest? Beat the clock, girls.
You got 3 songs, and they cut them in half, so you only got 2.5 minutes for each song.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been to a strip club, Office Core?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I have. I was on a biker motorcycle ride thing. That was one of the stops.
Yeah. Were there dancers, or did you just stop in for a cold one?
Nope. There was definitely dancers.
Definitely
All right.
dancers.
All right.
Okay.
Office Core is living a good life.
Yeah.
Good music. Really good music.
Hell yeah, strippers dance to good music.
Yeah.
Office Core, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you again next week. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe. Don't lose any fingers over the weekend due to fireworks.
Everybody out there, be very safe if you're blasting off fireworks
Blasting off, huh?
or whatever.
I'll be careful when I blast off.
Cora.
Fireworks.
Cora.
What?
Cora.
All right, we got to run. Office Cora.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one.
Sure it is.
Yeah, I love that Office Cora.
It's anonymous, it's fast, and it's free.
That's the way I like it. Anonymous, fast, and free.
Those two big ones.
Yes. Love me some big ones.
Train riding, blasting things off. Big weekend in Eau Claire. Big weekend.
Bad news with happy music is coming up in just a bit. Office Cora, what are we going to do with her? She's great. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
To enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Bad news with happy music. On Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, nothing happier than the national anthem, baby. America, bitches. Starting with hashtag Florida Man.
Oh, good. I figured that would happen.
A Florida man now in jail after he called McDonald's on his own phone 3 times and threatened to shoot this bleep up.
I'm loving it.
All because they forgot to include his chicken McNuggets in his order. Got to be honest.
Nuggets are important.
You drive away, you got the double cheeseburger.
No nugs.
You got the fries, you got the soda. It's all good. You look in the bottom, no nuggets.
No nugs.
What am I going to eat after I finish the cheeseburger, the fries, and the soda? That's what the nuggets were for. They were for that period of time where I'm not totally full and I want some more.
Do you take a break with the burger to eat a nug? Or do you... But you don't...
Do you cut your burger in half, you freak?
But you don't shoot up a... You don't threaten to shoot up over some nugs.
Dayton Wayne Schaefer, 18 years young. He's starting his life off on the right foot. Stands accused of using a two-way communication device to commit a felony and false report of a bomb or weapon of mass destruction. The guy acted like a McNut, said Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd.
That's a funny joke.
So this McNut didn't get his McNuggets from McDonald's. On 3 different occasions, he threatens to shoot the place up, uses all kinds of foul language, so he used his Mick phone to make a Mick threat to McDonald's.
I thought he was done.
Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
With the Mick references, but he wasn't that sheriff. He had more.
You can rely on Grady Judd to give you the goods when it comes to
Just wait.
Quotes.
There's McMore.
Needless to say, that guy is, now under arrest. Just go back. Hey, you forgot my McNuggets. Most of the time, it's some scared-ass teenager. Okay, here you go.
Well, and stuff happens.
Yeah, people forget. Remember Chris Robinson, not the lead singer of the Black Crowes? Chris Robinson, the hurdler who had a wardrobe malfunction?
Sure do.
Remember that guy?
Sure do remember him.
Penis had a mole on it. I'd recognize that penis anywhere.
Never enjoyed hurdles so much in my whole life.
Chris Robinson, who is 24, competing at the Ostrava Golden Spike meet in the Czech Republic last month, suffered a wardrobe malfunction with his dick and balls popped out of his shorts.
Came out.
While he was hurdling. Was trying to tuck everything back in.
It's hard to do that, though, when you're hurdling.
It was hard.
To do that.
Other athletes have obviously suffered unfortunate incidents when it comes to wardrobe malfunctions.
How can it not?
This guy, however, was unfazed and went on to win the race, the hurdles, 400-meter hurdles.
Yeah, he's a winner.
And because of his issues with his underpants.
Mm-hmm. Oh, has he got to deal with some underpants companies now?
Chris Robinson apparently now has a underwear modeling gig.
Awesome.
That's
great.
The company Shinesty, the one that does the crazy suits, you know?
Yeah.
They also have a line of boxers and all sorts of other stuff, right? They've expanded, but they started out with like the Christmas, ugly Christmas sweater suits, you know? They reached out to Chris Robinson after he suffered the unfortunate wardrobe malfunction at the Golden Spike track meet last week, resulting in his private parts slipping out of his shorts during the event. Shinesty, known for their humorous clothing, said they've actually been looking for someone to model their new Magnum Pouch Ball Hammock Undies.
Ask me about my wiener.
Which have a front pocket that's 47% larger than the average, which is exactly what this guy needs. Robinson, obviously, if you've seen the pictures, more than qualified for that job. Another brand called Krakatoa is also offering Robinson some help, so this guy might be able to cash in a little bit on his on his internet fame. CEO Alex Bortoluzzi saying that they'd like to send the Sprinter a care package as well as some other items. We have a special pouch in front to keep things separated and not slapping around.
Their underwear are made for high performance in mind, Brian.
Krakatoa and Shinesty both reaching out to Chris Robinson trying to get his junk in their trunk.
You, of all people, should know I would never in my life wear black silk underwear.
Mm-hmm.
That guy will wear it.
Magnum Pouch Ball Hammock. There's a title for you.
This sounds like a hashtag Florida man story, but it's actually a hashtag North Carolina man story. A naked man armed with a piece of wood.
The jokes write themselves, Brian.
Attacked two people in Raleigh, North Carolina on Tuesday. He walked up to a guy's car at about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Naked with a piece of wood in his hand.
Totally nude. No shoes, no shirt.
You got to know trouble's coming when that's walking at you. You have to know that something wild is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. He was holding a wooden post. He told the guy to let him in the car, then assaulted him with the post and took off. Shortly after that, he walked up to a woman who was eating lunch in her car. He hit her on the arm with the post, the wooden post, and then tried to steal her car. She said he got in the driver's seat but couldn't figure out how to shift it into drive, never got it out of park. Cops eventually tracking down this guy after he tried to hide out in some sort of storage area.
Wait, where was she in the car?
I don't know, but the way that she may have gotten out.
To let him get into the
guy's naked, he's
got his
wooden post, and he's assaulting her. I'll get out of the car. He got in, and it sounds like he couldn't figure it out. It's like people with manuals, right? People can't drive a stick. That's the best way to deter thieves in this day and age, is to have a stick. They don't know.
I don't know what
kids
to do
are
with
stupid. They're morons. Watch them on TikTok. They're idiots. You think an idiot on TikTok can figure out how to drive a stick?
Well, if that guy's naked and coming at me,
Get an old farm truck with a 3 on the tree. Yeah. Good luck, idiot. With your broccoli hair, big dummy. Cops eventually tracking this guy down after he tried to hide out in some kind of storage area behind a strip mall. Charges still pending on this guy who was assaulting people. Naked man assaulting 2 people with wood.
Have tariffs jacked up the price of your remodeling project? Save money with American Wood.
American Wood is just as hard as foreign wood.
But you get that wood right here in the good old USA. Go ahead, grab a piece of American Wood.
Oh, this American Wood is stiff.
Once you touch our wood, you won't want to let go. Best of all, you can find our wood everywhere, because nobody should have trouble getting wood.
Ooh, I love American Wood.
So what are you waiting for? Paid for by the American Wood Council and a generous contribution by OnlyFans.
Naked man assaulting 2 people in Raleigh, North Carolina with a big old wooden post.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Then hiding behind a strip mall.
Mm-hmm. You know that's trouble.
If you're eating your lunch in your car and some naked guy comes along with a wooden post,
I'm out.
And assaults you, like you got the window open, you don't even see him coming.
Well, that part, see, with her, you couldn't see him coming.
It sounds like she was maybe unaware. She was,
yeah,
she had one of those
lunch and he's sneaking
sushi.
up this
Maybe
way.
she had some sushi and she was
but
really
the other
into
guy saw him coming. No, not.
When was the last time you saw a man coming? Arkansas. We're staying in the South. A mom in Arkansas told cops that she gave her 6-year-old daughter THC edibles to discourage her daughter from using marijuana.
Most all the products are made for adults, so the dosages are going to be made for the adult body. So first of all, that's definitely going to cause an issue when you're giving it to a smaller body, a small child. It's going to be a higher dose than they could even tolerate. And then also with vaping and edibles, the percent of THC in a lot of the products on the market is much higher than what you would necessarily see in a marijuana cigarette. So again, you've got really high dosages there.
How old is this kid?
Well, the mom is Deanna Sue Woods. She's 36, sentenced to prison earlier this week after allegedly admitting to allowing her 3 children, ages 6, 10, and 15, to consume marijuana in various forms, including honey, chocolate edibles, as well as drags from her own vape pen. She will now serve 120 days in jail with 60 days of credit, followed by 60 months of supervised probation and a no-contact order with her kids. Back in January, a DHS employee spoke with her 6-year-old daughter.
I was just going to say.
And that's when they learned that the mom had been allowing 3 out of the 4 of her children to ingest marijuana and THC-infused edibles. The young girl quickly taken for a drug test, which confirmed that there were traces of THC in her system. Agency acting swiftly to contact a detective with the Brooklyn Police Department, who then arrested her the following day. Woods, who has a valid medical marijuana card, agreed to speak with the arresting detective after being read her Miranda rights, during which she confessed to additional drug-related offenses. Woods telling the detective that she had given 3 of her 4 kids both honey and chocolate edibles laced with marijuana. Allegedly confessed to allowing both her 6-year-old daughter and her 10-year-old child to take hits from her personal vape pen.
No.
Allegedly admitted to smoking marijuana herself, often around her 1-year-old toddler.
Oh, there's another baby in this thing, too?
Remember 3 out of 4. Even claiming she had used the drug while breastfeeding. So this lady obviously needs to maybe take a parenting class. Woods allegedly claimed that she did all this in an attempt to deter her children from using the drug. I don't know, dude. People are crazy.
Okay.
Last but not least, bad news, happy music.
Yeah.
Back to hashtag Florida.
It's a full circle. We've come full circle.
A beachgoer in Florida recently came across nearly $500,000 worth of cocaine that washed up on the beach. The discovery made on Sunday morning of last week while enjoying our beautiful beaches. If you come across any square groupers.
What?
Grouper is a fish if it's square, as in the cocaine package. Please call the Walton County Sheriff's Office immediately and do not touch these suspicious packages. The contents could be extremely harmful. The post included a photo of the haul showing the packages were indeed marked with Yosemite Sam. The Walton County Sheriff's Office tweeting out, this morning, a beachgoer discovered nearly $500,000 of cocaine washed up on a Walton County beach. The 25 kilos marked with Yosemite Sam confiscated and logged into evidence while enjoying our beautiful beaches. If you come across any square groupers, please call the Walton County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah. I'm calling the cops if something washes up.
Square groupers. Sure. Well, I'm certainly not going to try to sell it on the street.
Look what I found.
But I might try to pull a True Romance, Christian Slater. Find one guy, sell it all at once, and get rid of it, and then hightail it to a beach somewhere.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
$500,000.
I know, I heard what you said.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
You don't get anything for turning it in. They don't give you a reward.
No, I know, but you don't want any part of that.
You got to know a guy who knows a guy, right? Like, hey.
Yeah, but you don't know what that is.
I don't care. Just whatever, man. I found it on the beach, and I'm looking to get rid of it, and it's got some value, and if you want it, then it's yours. Cash deal. Cash in the hand. You're not selling the coke?
No.
Oh, I'm trying. I'm going to at least make a couple of phone calls. Hell yeah, it's $500,000.
Phone calls.
25 kilos, that's a lot of drugs.
I know.
I'm not touching it. I'm getting some gloves and a bag and all that stuff, but... What?
Do you not think anybody can see you out there?
Ah, you'll be fine. Do it at night. I'm cleaning up the beaches.
I'm just lugging this big box of Coke here.
Just a couple of phone calls. Just,
Just check and see if the market's hot.
I know a couple of guys.
See what you can do with that.
Bad news, happy music. On Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, we'll get to our daily check-ins after Aaron Lewis.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Rockmornings.com is the website with all of our contact info if you want to get in touch with us. Obviously, we will not be here tomorrow for the 4th of July, but you can tune in and check out the best of Rock Mornings tomorrow and on Saturday from 6 until 10. Got a whole bunch of text messages this morning. People amped up for the 4th. Started right away with our original version of the Thursday song, courtesy of our guy Scrady. Fifth Lori immediately hammering the keys on her phone to say beautiful.
I'm sure.
Just like America.
She's a huge fan.
Randy Bakashtuin said, Scrady, LOL, that's how to start a long weekend. Have a great 4th. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it.
I want to have a great 4th.
Doc said, all others fail in comparison. Thank you, Scrady. Happy 4th of July. Doc also wanted to hear Yankee Rose from David Lee Roth. We were playing a lot of Americana stuff today, and we did that for Doc. You're welcome. Doc also just left us a message through the app.
I just thought of one more song for the American theme today. You Could Still Rock in America by Night Ranger.
Yeah, didn't have time to get to that, Doc. You got to send us a voicemail a little earlier than 8:45.
So you can do that with, like Doc just did, if you have 95.7 The Rock's app or 92.9 Bax's app.
Yep.
On the bottom of both of those, you'll find a thing that says voicemail, and you just push that record, sends right to us. You can also submit photos or videos. So if you want to share something with us, you can do it right there on those apps as well.
Hank Hill said, America, the way we do it. Let's hear Domination from Pantera. Didn't have a chance to get to that, sorry. Jim, who just moved back home to Georgia, said, have a great 4th. Thank you, Jim. Still listening on the app. Always good to hear from one of our military veterans. Kenny wanted to hear some Poison this morning. It would be a great way to kick off the 4th of July. Did not have time to get to that, Kenny. Sorry. Maggie in Prairie du Chien said, are you planning on playing Jimi Hendrix' Star Spangled Banner? And I did. Thank you. Vicky also thanked us for the Jackal version of Grand Funk Railroads. We're an American band.
Mm-hmm.
Also got a text from Chuck who said, driving through the ramp and turning heads with Jimmy echoing through the building. America.
America.
Thank you, Chuck. Cheryl said, how about some Stevie Ray Vaughan this morning? Unfortunately, didn't have time to get to that. Tisha texted in, was happy to meet Drowning Pool at the Big River Rally.
Oh, she got to meet him. That's great.
Said happy 4th of July. Tom and Cashin said, thanks for the Kid Rock. Needed that morning pick-me-up. Thank you, Tom. There we go. Michelle let me know it was alimony. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Matt said, real patriots eat cheeseburgers. You guys over here talking about hamburgers. What state do you live in? Come on now. Loves and kisses. And I said, I mentioned cheese several times. It was the first burger I mentioned was a mushroom Swiss.
I get what he's saying, though, but thanks for listening, Matt.
Also got a text from someone who said, you made my kids' morning the entire commute. They listened to Hot Dog and Hamburger Chat, then the Peaches song. That's a good 15-minute ride.
That was good.
Also a text from my friend Vicky who wanted to know if there would be a daily podcast today or if I was dipping out early. She wanted to hear Office Cora, but didn't want to stick around because she wanted to mow the lawn before it got too hot. And I said there would be a podcast. So yeah, if you missed anything, it'll be on the website in about a half hour, rockmornings.com, daily podcast.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy, celebrate, be safe. Bucket Brigade.
Team America. Freedom, bitches. Let it ring.
Freedom, bitches.
We'll talk to you on Monday.